the beauty of this panel is a constellation of national, cross-industry, tech industry, pharma, manufacturing, and that's an awesome experience to share some insights, right? So I see some young minds here, aspiring entrepreneurs, techpreneurs, students. This is going to be a really a curated session. Hopefully this will be enjoyable. Before I sort of go around, while I welcome all the panelists once again, see, the whole success mantra, the principle of an ecosystem body like TiE is also to spawn entrepreneurship. It just cannot happen without the participation of industry bodies, government, and sure, thank you. And ecosystem needs to also navigate interruptions like this, and ecosystem is very, very important, right? So we'll sort of go around. Sir, maybe for the audience, I would love to have you introduce a little about you, your background, and your firm. So that would be of help.
Yeah, I'm Ravi Kumar, right now the current president of FTCCI, Federation of Telangana Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Other than this, along with my brother, we run a defense industry, aerospace and defense industry called Zeta Tech. We are into manufacturing navigation systems and gimbals which are used to neutralize the drones and things like that. We supply to the defense of the country since 36 years now. So this is in short about me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's a wealth of experience, and then we all know how important defense systems are. Then I'll move to Chakravarti, sir. So a little introduction about your experience and your organization.
Thank you, Sairam. Good morning to you all. I'm very delighted to be among you all. I think this is a little different kind of audience for me. My name is Chakravarti, AVPS, known for connecting the dots worldwide. I'm into pharma and life sciences and packaging space. Today, I'm representing Confederation of Indian Industries, being the convener of pharma and life sciences there. And also, I'm global ambassador of World Packaging Organization. And as far as my company is concerned, EcoBliss India, I'm the chairman and managing director, set up around 18 years ago with the collaboration of Dutch collaboration. We're into pharmaceutical patient-centric solutions, supplying over 1 billion solutions to mostly the regulatory markets, US and other regulatory markets. Well, my journey into packaging and pharma life sciences is long, but I seriously look forward to share and listen with my peer speakers and Sairam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. My dear colleague and friend, someone I work very closely, I would love to have Prashant introduce himself and HYSIA as well.
Thank you, Sai. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks to the organizing team and to have me to actually do the HECC, which is a brilliant initiative, and curating this session as part of that whole process. So I'm here in capacity of the president for HYSIA. HYSIA is a 33-year-old organization, primarily catering to IT services, product, and engineering organizations. About 450 members across the ecosystem in Telangana, a part of the members of HYSIA. Our mission is to see how we can sort of shape the GDP of Telangana in the IT sector space by both solving the supply and the demand side challenges and what we should do from policy framework through talent scaling, through education, market access, and multiple other initiatives that we sort of pursue. So I've been in the industry for about 30 years, been part of multiple organizations to scale companies. I have my own firm now, which is advising founders to scale the organizations, and also running a small data services company focused on providing data for AI algorithms. But excited to be here, looking forward to conversations today. Been part of, in my last 30 years, we've at least acquired 25 odd companies across various organizations. So, a little bit of insight on what we think from an acquisition side and what's the heart of the acquisition we look at, right, might come out during my conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant. Sir, representing FICCI, we are honored to have you here. Mila Jaydev Garu. Would love to hear from you a little bit about your background and your firm, sir.
Thank you, Sairam Garu. I'm from FICCI, National Executive Body member and Telangana co-chairman FICCI. My factory is Sudhakar PVC products in Suryapeta. My father has started in 1971. We are manufacturing different places, 6 places, so we are having different factories, different products, and almost all the plastic products. And near about 2,000 crores turnover we are reaching. And we have started MSME unit. Now it is a large scale industry. I thank you, Sairam Garu.
Sure, sir. That's a wealth of experience I'm sure we'll all look up to. We will kickstart the conversation with Ravi Garu. Sir, FTCCI has been a voice for trade and industry for decades, right? So what we would love to know is how are the traditional industry chambers sort of reimagining, and how are you being relevant in the startup driven economy, and what sort of enablement you provide? Yeah.
Yeah, FTCC, as Sairam was telling, it's about 107-year-old organization and which has been focusing exclusively in Telangana for the industry, MSME and SME. And what we exactly do is we handhold with the startups. We do a lot of programs also. We organize them and we handhold with them, and we also help them to understand. So unless and until the startups also are helped by the industry, they cannot survive. Correct. So this is the base which we look at. And we also advise them about the financial discipline, which is very much important. And secondly, we work with the government. As an association, we go to the government and we work with them and see that they also create a proper ecosystem for the startups to survive. Sorry to say this, to be too candid, the past history of the country, or especially Telangana, was the ecosystems for all the industrial centers which we have, like clusters we have in Chellapalli, or you talk of Balanagar or Pashamailaram and things like that. The government promises something and they don't do it. And today's scenario, I do agree that last 10 years or so it's vibrant, the country is vibrant, but FTCCA plays a major role in ensuring that what is spoken by the top management of the government, from the politicians, percolates down to the lower officers who are on the field to implement them. They have that national feeling and they implement. This is where we do play a major role in helping the startups.
Absolutely. I think that's a very important bridge, and what I really understand is the importance of the financial discipline, which you rightly touched about for the youngsters. I think that's very important. Moving on to Chakravarti, sir. So CII, as we all know, Confederation of Industries, right, has been instrumental in shaping overall industry policies and fostering entrepreneurship. But from your vantage point, what could be the 3 top priorities that CII should be championing to make Hyderabad truly a global benchmark, particularly from a startup ecosystem?
Thanks, Hiram. That's a nice question. Before moving on to those 3 priorities, what we need to delve, I always think that we are all so proud to be connected to Hyderabad. See, our ecosystem is quite natural. The people are really determined. And I personally have the experience of seeing, like many of you, I think some of us on the stage, even before the cyber towers was built. In fact, I was in manufacturing. I was heading operations in one of the multinational packaging company. We saw the foundation of the cyber towers. And then the transformation is just, I think, mind-boggling during the past 3 decades. So the entrepreneurship basically, as per me, is not just tech. It's a transformative also. And it should be inclusive. The ecosystem always should be where we are talking about the innovation, inclusion, and the sustainability. These are part of the value chain nowadays. Earlier, it used to be considered as some kind of a value add or something like that, standalone. But these are inclusive. But as far as the CII Telangana is concerned, I think we need to really move from the enabling stage, how we can architecture those innovations and make them possible, bridging the relations between academia, industry, and the association, and also the research partners also. And coming to the vantage point, you're talking about the three major things what we are talking about. The journey is very clear, as I defined to you. And And from enabler to ecosystem architect, this is what I've been talking about. The priorities of the CII should be integration over isolation. As I already mentioned to you, you cannot work in silos, and it should be worked as per the innovation and technology panels what we have, especially the pharma and life sciences I had, and also the packaging I had. We're already connecting the pharma and the packaging and the digital startups, where our brother Rami Reddy also is a part of it, being co-convener. And the manufacturing and healthcare leaders also we are trying to clip them. And as far as the global linkages and other linkages are concerned, I think CA is a rich organization where around 9,500 members are there. And in abroad also, this is the only organization where you have a presence in multiple countries. I think putting them onto the platform is a great benefit, being the CI member. And the third one, the sustainability as a strategy. We have made ESG and green packaging integral to every conversation, which are no longer in silos. Our initiatives on circular economy also, and the e-waste in particular, we're all connected with that, we talk about it. And it has become a business model. Once upon a time, it's a forbidden e-waste or any kind of waste. And do you know, for the matter of fact, the waste and recycling has become one of the top 10 industries. The shoes I wear is from one of the startup. From 10 used bottles, the shoes are made. One of the startup, Neiman's, you must be knowing. So there are several startups are like that. So they also contribute to the circular economy and also to the business model also. So this is how we look after in the as far as the CIA platform is concerned, and enabling to the architect and connecting the dots everywhere. These are the things which we strive to do on a day-to-day basis, and keep connecting is the CIA formula.
Well, I think that summarizes it, right? Keep connecting 9,500 companies outside, including branches outside India, and all the way up to circular economy, right? So that's a massive impact. Just a point before I head to Prashant. So for young startups, are they eligible to be a CIA member? Is there a threshold of revenue size to be a CIA member?
No, absolutely not. We have a startup, actually exclusive startup panel. So I encourage people to come and join CII. Anybody can contact me.
Sure.
And we welcome you, and we wanted to be a part of this as well.
Sure. That's very useful. So Prashant, I know, HYCI is at the forefront of putting Hyderabad on the global IT map for the last 30 plus years. Tell us, what's the assessment of how corporates are actually engaging with startups in terms of mentorship, co-creation, investment, and the whole fulcrum of the impact that HYCI is intending to create?
So thanks, I'll give you a two-dimensional view. Dimension view is purely from a corporate hat. The innovation cycles have started reducing over the last 50 odd years, right? Now innovation is going to come at much faster pace than ever before, thanks to business dynamics, market complexities, technology tooling that's available, and democratization of some of the tooling that's happening today. So with that lens, I think there is a concerted effort that to keep pace to this, you cannot innovate everything by yourself. So that's driving out a lot of ecosystem partnerships where, corporates are working across startup ecosystems. They in fact have venture funds. They encourage startups. They do hackathons and fests. They onboard people to see how they can be part of their innovation roadmap and journey, either to improve what they're doing, provide better customer experience, create new products and solutions, or just risk manage what they're doing from a business today. So that's a pivot that's staying, and I think startups will benefit quite a bit because industry ideas are being externalized at a rapid velocity and pace. Now I think, not every organization is the same maturity level, different people are at different levels. So one initiative that I think as HYCI we are trying to do, because we are the flagship body for technology companies, is how can we externalize technology problems within corporates and see what startups exist today to sort of solve those problems on specific teams. Some of these we do standalone, some of them in partnership with organizations like TiE Hub, the IIIT's incubation cell, IIT Hyderabad's incubation cell, and so on and so forth. This program is run under the banner called Catalyst, essentially externalizing programs, problems from corporates and bringing folks together. So that's one thing I think we're trying to do to sort of encourage this partnership to see how we can solve business problems. And I personally used a couple of them in my past organization, and both of them were extremely successful in innovation within the organization. That's one element. The second piece I think is, we need to do a concerted effort to encourage startups for them to sort of think about what business ideas were there. Why do companies start? Companies start because somebody really believes in an idea, they want to do something and they scale it up. They see a white space in the market and they want to do something. Or somebody gives them a problem and they figure out whether we can solve that problem.
Correct.
The threshold of people looking at startups has slowly reduced because people look at it as a viable career today. Primarily because I think the safety net as an organization, as a culture has also improved. When we were growing up, our safety nets were very different from safety nets today. Opportunities available today are very different, right? So the risk-taking appetite has gone up. With that, I think it presents a very good opportunity. And, so you're part of this, and we run products awards every year where we have about 400 odd startups who come in, showcase their product and solutions. There's a panel that evaluates this, and they get like awards. This is essentially creating positive motivation, right? How do we sort of help create a positive motivation? The last but not the least, I think, is while corporates have a role to play, the ecosystem needs to come together, especially if you want to create the deep tech startups for the future. So investors, mentors, industry bodies, corporates, government, more so from a policy framework, needs to come out and see how can we create the next NVIDIA from Hyderabad, right? That's the vision. Being a Hyderabadi for the last so many years that I've been here, I would like to see that, right? Can we not just create a consumer-facing products, but can we create corporate products where, there's a B2B customer base and we can create the future, right? So I was talking with Ravi the other day, I was asking him, India should be the major exporter for defense products at some point in time. It is possible. Pick your products, SKU, and do it. I think there'll be a huge economy boost. And I think technology was driving the GDP growth quite a bit now. It's all about defense and precision engineering, which is going to capture the world going forward tomorrow. So I'm hoping that together we can create something very, very meaningful. Thank you, Sai.
No, that's a massive impact that ICI is working, and I truly believe what you said. The safety nets have changed. It's moved from, when we were growing up, it was stable coin, and now we know it's a Bitcoin. So it's the safety nets have straddled between two extremes. And you said Hyderabad needs to produce an NVIDIA. We already have companies where NVIDIA has invested. Maybe it's just about time we produce another NVIDIA, right? So that's an awesome thing. And the Catalyst program of ICIA, where I'm an MC as well, is a phenomenal program which I would encourage corporates and startups to look at. It's a great platform. Sir, I know the wealth of experience you carry is probably the most important thing that the youngsters should listen to. Help us understand how FICCI enables ecosystem, and anything from your long entrepreneurial career that you want to share, please feel free to.
Yeah. FICCI always welcome to all the startup companies. We are organizing regular meetings. If you are having any problems or anything is there, we are organizing, and solutions also we are giving to them. And particularly startup companies who is having some basic finance is required must. Just startup means government will give, then people will give. It won't like that. First we should have the money, and that money has to invest in that company startup, whatever the new products is there. And we should not take the money from when the industry or any startup is coming, you should not take the money back from that company. Because of that, when you are first year, you are getting some 100 rupees. If you remove that 100 rupees, again the problem next year, what we will do? Always company has to be develop a startup to MSME to large industry. Means how it will be developed means continuation, whatever the money generate in that company, you have to continuation invest in that only. We should not go other entities, other businesses. Some 1 year is not running the business, and the second year we will go to another business, and the second year also that business is not good and going to third business. It won't, any business it will take minimum 5 years time. Minimum. Up to 5 years you have to patience and do that. And like agriculture, when we are going to the mango trees or any jamu trees or anything is we have to put the plant, it will take the 5 years minimum time. And all the farmers know that we should not take the fruits or first year and second year, third year. All the farmers are cutting in the flower stage itself. Because of that, tree won't develop. If you are taking the first year crop also will come, but if we take that and second year the crop won't go increase. Because of same business also, whatever it is coming, we should keep in that only. And nowadays, industry, startups is, so much industries are coming and people are thinking first year only we are not getting anything, second year they are closing. People should not do like that. You have to wait up to 5 years. And particularly one thing, bankers are giving, subsidy will come, everything will come, and excess billing and bankers like that. Bankers will give you, if it is a plant cost is 100 rupees, and your invest should be 30 rupees, and government bank will come 70 rupees, and we will get the 20% of the subsidy, and not necessary to invest anything. People will think like that, but it is not like that. Practically, I am telling, you take the 70% and 30% also, you have to invest that. Nowadays, government is giving the subsidy in the paper only. If any government people also is there, I know that what is the government is giving up to 10 years also, they are not giving the subsidy amounts. But on that basis, you should not start the industry on like that. And we should have our own finance, and then only industry will start. And day by day, technology has to improve. Like I will explain my company, Sudhakar, how it is grow. And 1971, we started the PVC pipes electrical conduits. And that is maximum production capacity is the per hour, that mission capacity is 16 kgs per hour. Only one mission my father has started. Investment from State Financial Corporation, 1.5 lakh rupee. And Andhra Bank has given 50,000 as a working capital. And we invested 50,000 our share. Within span of 2 years, that our investment total span gone, and whatever bankers are given, that amount has gone. Very trouble. At that time, no one is not using PVC pipe in the electrical wiring purpose. Then second year also is like that. And third year we went to each and every houses, put the pipe, after the wiring only you can pay the money. Like that startup we done it. After that, like that we have developed, then we have manufactured second mission ourselves in the in-house mission. Like that we are, every mission is the capacity 15 kgs, 20, 25 kgs is the maximum. Like that we have put in the 8 missions. Continuation, when it is running, we went to the agriculture pipe. At that time the water is very shortage. There is no, at that time, bore wells also. Whatever open wells are there, that water only using. And that water is going by small canals. 50% of the water is absorbing in the canals itself. After that last water it is going. Then the people and we think that water should not waste, and we will put directly to wherever the plants required water. Then we started the PVC pipe, agriculture pipes. And we expressed and we started that agriculture pipe from at that time there is not much current motors, all the diesel engines are there. And diesel engines to water pipe, we are given the connection and going to the farmers, wherever the plants are there, that exclusively water is using for that. Like that we are developing. After 3 years, that capacity we went to the first mission, we increased and 180 kgs per hour mission capacity we started. And already existing, whatever the 8 missions are doing in 8 missions, 1 mission is doing that much capacity. I'm boring that, but what is a startup, how to increase, that's only I'm explaining to you all. Like that, day by day increasing the missions. And all the funds, still now we are, whatever it is coming, the amounts we are getting profit, all investing in that technology, increasing whatever the technology. Now we are having the only one mission is coming into the per hour 1000 kgs. When we started in the 16 kgs, now one mission is 1000 kgs per hour it is coming. Because of the high market position is there, and we are selling and different types of like SWR pipe, sewerage water, agriculture water, drinking water, and nowadays government also given the Har Ghar Ka Jal all over India. They announced that HDP pipe is going on all over India. That is so much requirements are there. It is always invest only. We should not take the money from the industry. Now almost 4,000 employees is working in Sudhakar Group. When we have started that time is 8 people are working. Don't think it is a startup means it is a small. It always will grow. Only luxury we should not go up to 10 years. After that we can go anything, it can be possible. Thank you very much, sir.
So, sir, I think you actually covered the pragmatic life of building an enterprise. I think the last 6 minutes of that was as wisdom for every youngster. What you told was be bootstrapping, reinvest into the company, and your experience of from 8 people to 4,000 people that I heard. We should actually give a round of applause for this experience and journey, right? So we'll sort of make it a little accelerated now. Maybe I'll go to Ravi sir, just from a FTCCI standpoint. Particularly, sir, how can MSMEs leverage the startup ecosystem? What are the mechanisms that you sort of enable, and any simple advice for MSMEs to really become growth engines?
Yeah. Probably I'll put it the other way around, like in the sense I'm talking from MSME and SME angle, whereas my colleague Prashant and all of them are talking from the IT and the service sector and things like that. Frankly speaking, startup ecosystem is yet to take off. We are just talking about it. It's yet to take off because startups are about 5-6% of startups are surviving, the rest are not surviving. So basically there is no ecosystem. If I need to give you a classic example of our Telangana, we have one food park which has come up at Boggipadu near Sattupalli. Right. In fact, Jaydev was with me, we went together. And it's a beautiful park created by the government inside. And government was asking FTCCI to see that industries go there and set up the units. So the problem is if you set up a unit, a startup unit there, inside the park it is ISO standard. But people have to travel all the way from Khammam, 80 kilometers every day. So the logistics and the expenses which the startup incurs is dangerous and it collapses. So basically, MSMEs also need to support the startup and startup also should support. And startup should understand that as Sudhakar Pipes Jaydev was sharing, you need to have financial discipline like anything to survive. And I repeat again, probably in the interest of everyone, the company money is not yours. Be very clear. And what we do with the government from FTCCI is the banking system, the banks at the national level or the government policy says that you give them loans to start up without collateral security, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't percolate down. So I repeat again, startup system is at the nascent stage, but we need to pick up, and the way government is talking about Viksit Bharat or net zero and things like that, it's only happening at the top. So as a industry body, we are putting up papers, or we are talking to the government, government representatives to see that they speed up their work so that it picks up and things happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Maybe we'll go back to Chakravarti Garu. So from a pharma and a manufacturing standpoint, how do you sort of embrace this startup ecosystem, and any perspectives on that?
Thank you, Sai. In fact, this is a topic very close to my heart. And while it is great to hear from my friends Jaydev, Prashant and Ravi, you all must know one thing actually. around 30 years ago, we are importing almost even the basic pain management drugs. And today, we are supplying to more than 200, 215 countries. And we'll be so happy to know those days, Genome Valley, ICICI Knowledge Park, I think some of you are not born. Thanks to those governance by Chandrababu Naidu and later on by Mr. Rajshekar Reddy. And even the bureaucrats, how they work at that time. They really dreamt big. And you must be knowing the dream couple, Dr. Ella Krishna, Dr. Suchitra Ella. In fact, Bharat Biotech was a small startup those days. And nobody ventured, and I remember what Ravi is telling, logistics problems. Those logistics problems, those days, we used to face in the Genome Valley. Genome Valley now it is a part of city. So they really ventured into it, and today Bharat Biotech, with the recent invention of the Covaxin, they saved millions of lives, and they become so pride of India, and both were awarded, the dream couple were awarded Padma Bhushan. Actually, round of applause to both of them, and we are so fortunate to be among them. It's not only that, companies like Dr. Reddy's, Granules, Natco, they all started very low at the time. You can call them as mini startups in health tech, not health tech, the healthcare and the bio companies those days. And today, we are known for generics. We are all talking about the US tariffs today. Why the pharma is exempted from the US tariffs while all other sectors are threatened to be 50% of tariffs, we are on 0%. Because without our drugs, consider the fact we are the largest cluster of the healthcare after New Jersey, the Hyderabad. And we have largest number of US FDA approved plants outside US only in Hyderabad. And we have come to that such stage. And one pill consumed out of every 3 pills in USA are manufactured in India, and 40% of them are manufactured by us. And we reached to the situation, why I'm giving this inspiring information to all of you. Those days were like are very challenging days, but today we have reached to the situation thanks to all that startups and thanks to all that determined innovators like Dr. Anjay Reddy, Dr. Chandrasekhar Reddy, as well as Soul Pharma, and many others, Krishna Prasad, Nannapaneni Garu, so many people, Ram Prasad Reddy Garu, name anybody. So why Hyderabad has become so popular today. And I will give you another statistics. In USA, we are exporting $30 billion worth of drugs to USA. Out of that, $10 billion is the drugs. But indirectly, we are saving almost $250 billion on healthcare. So that is the total impact. And coming quickly onto the embracing the pharma and health tech, we are moving from the so-called molecules to health tech also today. And lot of technologies, while I gave the Bharat Biotech example, and how the vaccine was rolled out, thanks to the health tech, AI-driven, the protocols were followed. Unlike the standard protocols which take years and years, it has become a possibility. Sustainable packaging, manufacturing, and track and trace, biotech diagnostics, and TiE Telangana for myself, actually when we are talking about mentoring startups via pharma and life sciences focus as well. And what is the next step? You are talking about the embracing, the co-creation, the pilot validation, even when it is a small one, and then industrial scale. Friends, I always believe when a startup comes to you, be patient. All the co-entrepreneurs I'm giving, it's not a message kind of a thing. This is my experience I'm sharing. The first $10,000 or the first 1 million rupees invested in a startup is always important. They might earn billions after so time. You have to show the confidence with the idea, listen to them patiently, have trust. Initially you think that it is a trash, but you have to repeatedly listen to them and then invest in whatever possible capacity, embrace them, and the future will be yours. Thank you very much.
That's one inspiring sojourn, right? So from being the vaccine capital of the world to being possibly the Gen AI capital of the world, maybe Hyderabad should be dreaming. We'll probably end this panel with perspective from HYSIA on what's the role HYSIA is doing from a Gen AI enablement and skilling perspective.
Yeah, so see, Gen AI is prevalent everywhere. It'll be very difficult to have somebody in this room who has said they've not used any Gen AI-based solutions so far. So I think what it's doing is, I think from a startup ecosystem standpoint, it's throwing up opportunities to create products and solutions which were accessible for deep investments only for a small section of people. With Gen AI, I think you're reducing your time to build, your time to research, your time to compare, your time to test. So all of this is going to give you a leveling field in terms of how you can take solutions in the market. So I think it's a brilliant platform available for the startups today to leverage that, see what we're doing, and drive growth with those white spaces that exist today. So that's one aspect of how Gen AI is producing opportunities. Now I think the big challenge, I think, with Gen AI comes disruption to existing enterprises at scale. They will be the people who have to adopt, see how they change their businesses, and they need help. Help in multiple folds, because they need agility to test and market faster. They need to reskill workforce. So we're doing our bit in terms of how we sort of work with this ecosystem of partners to see whether we can provide them skills or toolkits that they can use to deploy within the organization to create one awareness on Gen AI, two is what technology, basic technology skilling so they can try something on their own, and help in terms of how they can sort of apply them to their business cases. So one thing that we realized as part of that value chain is that while we can talk to a lot of people in corporates today and change their mindset, we need to shift left and look at how students coming into the corporate life also have changed their mindset. So we're trying to do certain programs with about 1,000 faculty to see how we skill them on the future of technology and how those technologies can make a change in their lives and their students' life and corporate life, and what they should do to sort of drive that business outcome. So it's called Project Drona. It's a foundational program that we've launched. But that aside, I think this is a fantastic space. Sky's the limit. The TAM itself is getting reimagined with Gen AI. So it's huge opportunities where anybody wants to find white spaces and create something in this space. Sky's the limit. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant. I think this conversation can just go on and on, but we are sort of reaching the time limit. But I think this panel definitely, I think there's a question. Probably we can take maybe two. There's one at the back first, and then I'll come back to you, sir. So I'm glad we are having questions. Yeah. Can someone pass on the mic, please?
Can you just step forward at the same time?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. Can you please step forward at the same time, please? Can you just approach the stage?
Yeah.
It'll make
So
life easier. The person with the question, yeah. Can you approach
Yeah, we're going to
the stage,
take only
please?
two in
Right.
the interest of time.
While
One
you
at the
walk
back
in, I'll
and
take
one
this
here.
question here.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I think everybody is guilty in this space, right? Look at the top 10 corporates in India. How much they pay out as dividend, how much they pay for stock market valuation, versus how much they have invested back into creating entrepreneurs. It's just not the government. They need to sort of shape up, give back, create something, because it's not about cash and books. Are you using that cash to create a secular economy for ourselves? And how do you fund that? So I think that's a change that needs to happen. And I agree with Ravi. I think we are challenging the government. It is not an easy problem for them to solve. You know the nuances of subsidies and what happens and how much capital is left aside eventually for basic stuff. We'll have to work around that. We can't change that. But last 10 years, I think so much of push has been on Atmanirbhar Bharat. You look at defense, I have a strong feeling in 15 years, we'll be a net exporter of defense products. That's a push that's happening in our government, right? So we should pick up avenues like that and scale along with that, because we can't be number one in everything. So it's a journey. All of us will do our bit, but everybody needs to change.
Well, my panel has been a fantastic one for a simple fact that it stirred an interesting conversation and a great question. So we'll probably all good things got to end.